What's going on, everybody? It's Destiny Malibu and my co-host,
DJ Desi.
Welcome back to the Destiny Malibu podcast. We are so excited that you guys are back. Today, we are going to be talking about the 7 pillars of mental health, which we are so excited to share with you guys. And today, we are going to be talking about self-love. So this is a really fundamental part of mental health. And I have noticed that, myself included, the times when I was like really struggling with my mental health were also simultaneously times that I was really struggling with self-love. There were times where I, would look in the mirror and I just had a lot of negative self-talk going on, which fast forward to today, I realize how detrimental negative self-talk is.
Yeah, when you would say negative things out loud, and I say, Destiny, don't say those. Mm-hmm. And what did I do, Destiny?
And she would hit me across the head. Actually, I think she did.
Not
did
like
you?
hard, just like a tap, like don't do that, Des.
Yeah. And, it was so funny because, Desiree and I on this podcast are offering very different perspectives because, I'm someone who struggled with depression. I struggled with self-image. Desiree probably didn't struggle with those things as much, I would say.
No, just like on a different level where, maybe not to the extreme versions that you did. I was always pretty confident in myself, even though there are tons of beautiful women out there. But no matter what my number was on that scale, I always felt really confident about myself.
Yeah, so Desiree and I had very different experiences with each of these pillars that we'll be talking about. But it's kind of cool because I feel like in most families, people are struggling with different things.
Right.
Or maybe someone in a family is, struggling with depression and someone else in the family has never struggled with that and they don't understand. Which I feel like was probably more of the relationship that we had.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of households can relate to that.
Yeah.
A lot of times I notice that people who are struggling with mental health simultaneously usually are struggling with self-image. And a lot of people I've talked to, myself included, when I'm trying to kind of get an understanding of what they're feeling, a lot of times I'll hear commentary like, I hate the way I look, I hate myself, I've made a lot of horrible decisions, a lot of just like beating yourself up. Which, Desiree kind of knew like instinctively, hey, that's not healthy to do. And at this time when I really struggled with this, I would say it was probably my freshman year of high school that I really started to struggle with self-image. And at that age, I was like 12 or 13, I didn't know instinctively that negative self-talk was unhealthy. At that time in my life, I didn't understand the mind and body connection and how your body does physically respond to your thoughts, quite literally. So if you are looking in the mirror and you're saying, oh my gosh, like I hate the way I look, I don't like this about myself, and tearing yourself apart, your body actually physically
feels it
and it actually really does affect. I mean, there's been a lot of studies saying that even sometimes putting yourself down or being in a negative train of thought can actually cause physical illness and manifest itself in physical illness. So, we're learning more and more how important our thoughts are and how often we might feel that we have no control over our thoughts. But just like with anything, controlling your thoughts takes practice.
Right.
And that was something I did not understand at that age. And, Desiree would tell me, hey, what would you say to me?
I say something along the lines, don't say that about yourself. That's not true. You look beautiful.
Yeah. Best big sister in the world. And at the time, at that time of my life, I thought, I have no control over these thoughts. I can't escape thinking this. When in reality, I did have way more control over my thoughts than I was aware of. And so, starting fundamentally with mental health, it's really important if you don't naturally have like what Desiree had, which was a natural understanding of being aware of the thoughts you're feeding yourself, then to literally put into practice retraining the thoughts that you think, which I know sounds a little weird and silly at first, but affirmations is one of those things where you literally need to look in the mirror and say, I love you. You're beautiful. I love your hair today. Wow, you have beautiful eyes. Like, literally say those things to yourself. Look yourself in the eye. This is a really powerful one. Look yourself in the eye and say, wow, you have beautiful eyes. And really connect with your soul, because it might feel weird at first if you're really, really struggling with self-love, like I know I was at that time of my life. Saying those things like brought out a lot of emotions. It would make me cry. It would make me very emotional because I didn't believe those things at that time of my life. And now with a lot of practice and learning to, accept myself and love myself with open arms, I can literally look in the mirror today and say, wow, you're so beautiful. Like, I love you. I'm so proud of you. And say those things to myself and really believe them. And when you practice something like affirmations, even if it doesn't feel normal at first, it takes a while to build a habit. I think it's like it takes 30 or 60 days to build a habit. So you have to habitually be looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, you're beautiful. And even if it feels weird at first, keep saying it. And eventually, as you start to build that habit, your body literally will physically respond. And over time, you will start to build an extremely loving relationship with yourself that you didn't even know was possible. But it starts with your thoughts. So that's a really, really important factor of self-love.
And, one of the things that I hear often is your thoughts become words and your words become actions.
Yes.
So remember that concept is if you're thinking nice things about yourself, you're going to start saying nice things about yourself, and then you're going to start feeling and doing good things for yourself.
Exactly. Very well said. Yeah. So fundamentally, as you're going through this mental health journey, it is really, really, really important to be really aware of how you're speaking to yourself. You really need to become your own best friend, your own hype person.
Yeah.
If you are someone who likes compliments like me, words of affirmation are one of my love languages, and we'll talk about love languages in another episode. But if you're someone who's craving words of affirmation, you can give that to yourself. Obviously, it's nice when you get it from someone else, but when you are practicing this self-love journey, it's really important to get in the habit of being your own best friend and your own hype person. So that would be, first something that I want you guys to really check in with yourself and really start to pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking.